Hi, I am Shreya, and welcome to Echoes from the Quiet Corner, a podcast where stories, AI, and timeless wisdom of books and poetry come together. Today, I want to share something personal, why I started this podcast. So many of my friends have been asking me this question. Why a girl who once dreamed of being a detective, a doctor, even an animator is now here, behind a microphone, surrounded by books, thoughts, and AI? You see, I come from a family of storytellers. My grandfather is a professor of English literature, and my great grandfather, my grandmother's father, was a well known Christian writer. He wrote 16 books. And me, I was the little girl who always told made up stories before I could even write them. My grandmother was my number one listener. She believed I would grow up to be a great writer or artist. But when she passed away, I was only 8. And with her, something inside me became quiet. The stories stopped. The world around me got louder. So I went searching for new dreams. First, I wanted to be a detective, join the FBI or the CIA, solving mysteries, catching bad guys. But real life cases like how FBI handled Benazir Bhutto's assassination or Bob Woolmer's sudden death left me confused. Something just didn't add up. And my curious heart wasn't convinced that I should join the FBI. So I turned to medicine. I watched surgeries all the time. I imagined curing cancer. But when I realized how many years I would need to study, that dream slowly faded too. Next came animation. I loved animated movies very much. I adored Studio Ghibli. I joined design workshops, followed online tutorials. But there was one small problem. I was really bad at drawing. One day, my high school biology teacher pulled me aside and said, Shreya, you are a very smart girl, but your heart diagram looks like a potato. She smiled and gently told me to get help with my drawings, especially for take home labs. That was, unfortunately, the end of my animation dream. But around that time, I read something about artificial intelligence and deep dreams, and the light turned on in my head. What if I thought I can still become an animator or even cure cancer in the future with the help of AI? That idea stayed with me. So I studied computer science and specialized in AI, worked in applied AI for some time, and I thought maybe this is it. Then came another turn. I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to do research in AI and help. So I moved to Canada to do research in medical AI. I worked on cancer prediction. I studied and worked hard. I believed in what I was doing. But real world impact in medicine is very difficult. Data is limited. There are many rules. And sometimes science and policy just don't agree. So I started asking, is there a field where I can make a difference faster? That's how I landed in doing AI for finance and insurance. Strangely, there was a lot more data and more openness to new ideas. It felt practical and it felt useful. But after some time, I missed something, that old spark, that joy of stories and meaning. Then something beautiful happened. My daily calls with my grandfather, who is still my best friend, brought me back to literature. We spoke about stories, plays, big questions, and slowly the storyteller in me woke up again. That's when I realized I have spent 10 years learning how AI works. But no one is asking what it means, not in a way that touches the soul. So I decided to bring my two worlds together, to blend code with curiosity, to connect Shakespeare to ChatGPT, Dorian Gray to deepfakes, Panchatantra tales to today's AI debates. This podcast is my way of saying stories still matter. It's for the little girl who once had too many stories to tell. For my grandfather, who still listens to every story of mine multiple times. And for my grandmother, who I hope is smiling in heaven, finally hearing me tell stories again. That's how Echoes from the Quiet Corner was born. And I'm so happy you're here with me. That's all for today. Until next time, may your quiet corners be rich with echoes that know how to listen as always. Bye.